YouTube. Today we're going to be doing an interesting account review wombo combo, where we take two accounts that have made a similar-ish mistake. One of them makes a lot more sense than the other. This one we're going to start with is a bit of a spender. VIP 6 seems okay. Made some good decisions, made some questionable decisions. It very much looks like our first account is a tier list Andy. What does that mean? Let me show you. We have a level 144 VIP 6 account with 50 million gold and 13,000 gems. Seems solid. Means you've spent a lot of your gold. That's totally cool. And you probably spent it on... Oh, look at that. We've got two monsters ongoing. We've got Phoenix and Lion. Bold. Very bold. You're only level 144. Huh. Crazy. Let's go look at the heroes. So, I wonder what they've spent money on. An Eloise. Some Awakens. Oh, a B- Rogan and a B- carry. Nice. Okay, so initially you should be seeing this and going, oh, cool, cool, cool. Eloise, we like that. She's Void 4. We like that too. We got Tix as the tenant. Good. We got a 10-star carry. I love that. Right? 10-star carry. Great. But you know what's less great? The lack of anyone else. There's no Ithaca here. So looking at your heroes, Broken Spaces is going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge. And the Rogan, wild. Now, you might be thinking, what do you mean wild, MK? We've got Eloise, Rogan, Holmes Young. Aren't they all meant to be really good heroes? Yeah, they are. But if you're a tier list Andy that just follows heroes on lists and goes, oh, these are good, I'm building them, you're not actually going to get as far as you could do if you built a little more tight. Because a Rogan doesn't really do much for an account. Sure, he goes and gives you Warpath Roar, which improves your heroes, but he does that at 9-star. And E5 Rogan is something you really want when you've got a Fairy Queen Vessa and you need help with her, right? It's going to give her a tenant, and it's going to be a good hero to help her in Seal Land. It's nice. E5 Rogan, solid for survivability in that case. But really, before that, you don't need E5 Rogan. As well, we've got a Holmes Young, really great hero for doing Fortress Seal Land, but outside of that, he's kind of asynergistic with Eloise. Turning people into doves is good, but then what? They're not going to attack Eloise, so she's not going to counterattack, and that's a bad thing. So, not that good. Obviously, though, having a Holmes Young is nice for doing Fortress Seal Land, which I'm assuming you've beaten. What? 15? Okay. Look, little tip right now for you, my friend. If you go ahead and take an Eloise, grab her imprints, shove him on Holmes Young, send him into Seal Land, and then just do Seal Land. I mean, look, you got a melodic strings on him. He'll beat this. I mean, if that doesn't work, grab the crown off Eloise. I love how I just assumed he had a crown. I was like, if he's got an Eloise homeowner, he's got a crown. Yeah, so put the crown on the Holmes Young. Boom. He'll just go ahead and clear it. So that's Seal Land beaten in the Fortress faction. Don't worry about that. Now, what else have we got? Invisible Rogan. Honestly, this better be a meme, because Invisible Rogan is a joke I make, because for some reason in the first PvP tournament I hosted, 2 of the teams had Invisible Rogans. Strange choice. There's no logical reason to do this outside of I need some HP and I haven't got an energy artifact for him, or Plate of Courageous. People do it. It happened. And yeah, the Moloch Strings is nice though. Let's go take a look at the rest of your artifacts. Why did you build an Augustus Magic Ball? VIP 6, why would you waste your artifacts on this piece of garbage? Now, yes, sure, it's a good artifact. It's fine. Build it to Splendid. Totally good at giving you protection. But I would rather those 2 Augustus Magic Balls with 2 more Melodic Stringses. And then we'd have a Radiant Melodic Strings. Oh, real good. That gives him big active skill. In fact, it would have given Tix a big active skill. I love energy Tix. Speed! Crit! Okay, look. You've been watching way too much Idle Heroes 10-star Cup. I mean, this is a good stone for, like, PvP. Typically, though, you want attack on him or speed attack, because that's going to make him a better tenant. And that's going to give more attack to Eloise. In fact, attack HP would be really nice, because then you get the best of both worlds. And we got Carrie here. She's speed crit as well. What is it with you and speed crit? What's Carrie gonna crit with? She does marks. You don't need crit on a carry? What are you doing? Ah, blah, blah. You got no clue about stones? Well, there you go. Tenants want attack. And Eloise... Oh, I haven't even checked hers. Speed... even block HP is better than speed HP. You want attack HP on the Eloise. But I'm not going to go switching Look at his gold. Ain't no gold for stone swaps here, man. Ugh, that's strange. I like the Ignis. Ignis is good. You get that passive control immunity for Eloise. Fun times. But I'm assuming... Yeah, let's go look at his broken spaces. There's no way he's beating this. Broken spaces stage 6. And you got stuck. Oh, and you ran out of attempt. This is why we build Ithaca as early as possible on accounts if you can, right? Because Ithaca's just good, right? She beats broken spaces. I know I've said in guides before, you don't build the Ithaca straight away or you don't have to, but really, it's kind of like a pro strat to just turbo out the Ithaca and really prioritize broken spaces. Like, that's what I would do if I was going ahead and trying to beat early game stuff. I'd be like, boom, Eloise, Ithaca as fast as possible. So that's a nice time. So, a little bit of a tip there for you guys. And as well, it just seems like a waste, this E5 Rogan. And that's going to be a trend for today's video, because the other account I've looked at, spoiler alert, has gone and done the same thing. And I think this is something that people do too much. You go ahead and you build E5 Rogan because you see that he's a good hero and he's used on a lot of endgame teams, so you think he's going to be fine for ages, but Rogan is just a support. And it still is the case. He's only going to be used to make your team slightly better. And when you don't really have a team, when you don't have a lot of E5s, you need to be prioritizing heroes that give straight impact. Ithaca clears broken spaces. Tix clears Aspen Dungeon, helps Eloise in Seal Land, locks down those opponents with silence. 10-star carry, interestingly, a pro gamer move. People 10-starring carries and then focusing on like maybe Ithaca to E5 before they finish the carry. This is a pro strat because carry can steal energy at 10-star reliably. So as long as the carry stays alive, and she will because she'll resurrect when she dies anyway, keeping a carry at 10-star and then focusing on something else before you finish her is a thing that people like to do. So a little bit of a tip there, actually. Nice thing to point out there. Good choice. I find the Bee Awaken interesting. Oh, she's fast. Crit damage. Now the speed crit stone makes sense. No, you want to go ahead and have an attack on here, definitely. So that's cool. Let's see what else we've got. Right, we've got an EOS 9 stars. Some would see this as building wide. I see this as fine because it's a light hero. You're just compressing your light food into EOS so it's not taking up all your backspace. That's cool. You might get more EOS copies in the future, but nope. Light's completely empty. In fact, whoa, why did you open everyone already? You're going to have no heroes left. Please don't tell me your chests are the same. Please tell me no. Food, 2 9-star chests, 6-star chests, no 5 stars. You already opened your 5-star chests, because these definitely came recently from Imp's Adventure. Imp's Adventure 34, that's the Imp's Adventure we just had. So, you've already opened your 5-star chests you got from there. Must have been for, I guess, maybe Holmes, maybe Rogan, maybe Eloise. Because look, we've got some 9 stars here too, so you could build some 10-star fodder. And, ooh, mate, the wall deck, getting this as soon as possible on an Eloise account, another pro gamer move, right? Get the 10-star carry, get the 9-star wall deck, really min-max. If this was 9-star, I'd love it because you'd get a much more improved final passive. We like that. So go ahead and do these things where, if you can, you're going to give yourself more progress. Because, I mean, the 9-star Ignis, the 9-star wall deck, I mean, 10-star is fine, but yeah, it's a good time. You're just figuring the game out, to be honest. You know what, Fat Matt? You're being okay. You're being good. For someone just kind of mucking around, you've not built bad heroes. You've built good heroes, just with a little bit of not very tight synergy. And I will say this. It's very easy for us as a community to look at an account like this and say, oh, you didn't build Ithaca. Oh, where were all your tenants? But there's nothing in the game that tells you that tenants are a good idea. In fact, you don't even know who the tenants for Eloise are until you've gone and built a Void 4. So, unless you're absolutely researching everything you can about this game early on, and you learn these things, then it's totally intuitive just to build good heroes like Rogan, like Holmes Young, like Eloise. So, for all that we can give Matt a hard time here, he's not actually done anything that doesn't make sense, or I wouldn't expect from a new player who's just, as Matt said, just figuring out the game. So it's totally cool. One thing he might find a bit of a problem with is his guild tech. We've got Ranger, we've got Mage, we've got Assassin. I assume you've played long enough, though, that if I go in here, you've got these maxed. Mage is done, Ranger's done, Assassin is... Ooh, it's so close. For some reason, you upgraded Warrior. I assume at some point you had a Garuda. Ooh, it's 2,000 gems to reset. Maybe not then. Maybe just go ahead and finish Assassin if you can. Priest, you put a little bit in. That's fine. But... yeah, do get this finished as soon as you can. He's already started doing that anyway. You can see he's really low on guild coins. Whenever he gets them, he's upgrading this. So he knows what he's doing there. That's good. Obviously, though, Warrior's not doing anything for you. And maybe that's the case. Maybe the reason we have a Rogan is this was a Garuda. And you swapped it for a Rogan. Only recently. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. What I would have done... and he says, yes, it was. Thought so. What I would have done was regress the Garuda and use it to build an Ithaca, as that would have given you a stronger impact on your account. Now, granted, he only has 2 Ithacas, but I bet you pulled Rogans from chests. And in my opinion, early on, not a good idea. You probably should have used your chests for Ithaca, but of course... how are you to know? So I think for you, moving forwards, we want to go focus on Ithaca. Overall, this account's not that bad. Your artifact focus seems good. Not a fan of the AMB, but that'll tighten itself out. You've got a glittery crown. That's totally cool. And melodic strings, let's get more of these in here. And then grab yourself some Ruby Scepters or something like that. Or Demon Bells, one or the other. Ideally, I like having 4 Ruby Scepters first before Demon Bells. At the moment, that for me seems like a better strategy. I know before I've mentioned getting 8 Demon Bells super fast, but... typically, it's less important now that we don't rely on Sword Flash as much as we used to until you get to 2 Transcendence Heroes, so you got plenty of time. And, yeah, all in all, solid account, decent progress. Now, let's go look at the next one to show you how the basic principles that Matt was following, which was building good heroes, can go a little too far, and your account has lost all focus entirely. Now, interestingly, this next account is a very similar level. 165. VIP 5 though, so a little less on the spending. I wonder how similar it is. Similar amount of gems? A lot more gold, but still low. What are these heroes? Rogan as a homeowner. Nice. This was bold. A very bold decision. Because even if a tier list tells you Rogan is one of the best heroes in the game, which tier lists do, it doesn't mean he's strong. It means he's one of the best support heroes in the game because of Warpath Raw. And when you look at a tier list and don't understand why a hero's on it, you do things like this. There is nothing that a homeowner Rogan is going to do for you apart from live longer. He's not a damage dealer. He's a single target guy. He's hitting one enemy at a time, always the lowest HP, which means the problem enemy is getting ignored, and then Rogan dies. Oh, it's terrible. So, unfortunately, this account is a little bit wishy-washy. The funny thing is, though, you've built tenants for Rogan. You've done tenant-focused building. You've got the Sherlock, the Drake, the Inosuke, and the Gloria. Which is interesting. Because, I don't know if you guys are thinking it, Sword Flash. These are Sword Flash heroes. And Doofusford also said this. Sword Flash heroes. Interesting. What I would do, Doofus, I would take this Inosuke, and I would make him your homeowner. Because he uses Fiona as a tenant. He uses Rogan as a tenant. And also, he uses Sia as a tenant. There is synergy, and there is hope here, where actually what looks like an account that's absolutely wild can be tightened up. Now, don't go upgrading this Gloria any higher. She's going to be a phenomenal tenant, by the way. That attack stat, whoo! Nice, okay? So when you do get Sword Flash, love that, right? But you need to finish the Fiona and the Inosuke. Even Sherlock, a tenant for Sword Flash. What I would probably do is find a way that you can get those final few Inosuke copies and those final few Fiona copies. Oh, you've got the final Fionas. He's got 2. Oh, bro, does that mean you can have... Yes, you can. E5 Fiona. Have you got Morinosuke? Oh, bro. Has he? Has he got bags? Chests. You got chests? Oh, you could totally do this. Which means, you could, like, regress Tix or something. You could regress the Gloria. You don't need her. Regress the Eloise. You don't even need Eloise, man. Screw it. We're going completely off book with this one. This is a Sword Flash account. Get out of here. You don't need her. What we want now. Fix me. Melodic strings. Nothing. Oh, you've stripped everyone so we couldn't see. Okay, guys. Moment of truth. I'm going to the artifact bag. If you've got melodic strings, I could kiss you. This looks like a terrible account, but it's so fixable. Bag. Artifacts. Oh my lord! Are you crazy? The dude is living in 2021. He's doing Punisher energy feed, which is actually fine. It's actually a pro gamer move. It's stupid because melodic strings is way more efficient because you can do melodic strings with Ignis and then you get a Ruyi Scepter for the Lord of Fear Aspen as your second Transcendence hero. But you don't even have one Transcendence hero, so we've got ages to grab the Ruyi Scepter, ages to get the 2 more Demon Bells so that you've got 8 Demon Bells, which is going to be 2 Radiant and a normal glittery one. So at that point, you've got all the energy feed. Oh, you actually have a strategy. For all that I'm looking at this account, and you probably did too, and were like, what's going on? All you need to do is, whilst you're waiting for the Sword Flash, is just forget homeowner Rogan. Terrible decision. Inosuke. Absolutely. I'm not even kidding. This is something I want to try. A genuine thing, because I think this could be good for anyone wanting to spend a bit of money and build Sword Flash as their first Transcendence hero. Screw Eloise, screw the Fairy Queen Vessa strat. You want to build Sword Flash, you don't care what it takes, right? Inosuke, as you can see, Sia, great, you need to build that anyway for the Sword Flash. Next is Holmes Young or Rogan, one of the two, both, who cares? You've got him. Obviously, Rogan, not as good of a tenant as Holmes Young because he's an assassin, but you've already got the Holmes Young, I think, built. If you don't, just use Rogan. You can get a Holmes Young at some point, probably. Who cares? Just use Rogan, right? Fiona, you've got it. And then the last one, it's a terrible slot. Tennis buff 4 is awful. Ignore it. Boring. But this is great. This is actually pretty solid. So what we can go ahead and do is, if we can finish this Inosuke, move your attention across, you can have yourself with a really tight account. Now, do we have 5 copies of anyone to build some 10 stars? Probably. You can do it. I think you can go away now. How many soul symbols have you got? Is this doable? 25. Yeah. I think you can definitely get this account tuned up, leaning on Inosuke as your Void 4, and put something good in. The only thing that you're not going to enjoy is because you don't have melodic strings, Inosuke will not be doing an early active. I like Inosuke with the melodic strings because he can smack. Because he's got the shields from Fiona, he's guaranteed to crit. And in addition to that, Rogan will boost his crit damage. Nice combo. So, unfortunately, you can't utilize that. So what you're going to have to do is energy feed him or give him a Demon Bell. If you can successfully energy feed him and give him the Punisher, oh boy, then he's going to smack and deal a lot of damage. Because with that guaranteed crit, he's going to get all the bonuses from the Punisher, including the crit damage. So what I would go ahead and do is just stick with the Punisher and just energy feed him. And you said next artifact swap event, you'll swap Punisher to strings? No, I would swap Kiss a Ghost and AMB to 2 more Demon Bells, and then have full energy feed, and just make sure that faster heroes than Inosuke give him energy, and you're good. And then use an Ignis to energy feed him again, and treat him like a Sword Flash. Do exactly what you would do with a Sword Flash. Active skill round 1, active skill round 2. And obviously, it's not going to be as strong as Sword Flash, but who cares? Because as soon as you get Sword Flash, you're going to use her anyway. And then it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have, hopefully, your heroes faster, so the Rogan can energy feed, the Drake can energy feed. Maybe you're going to have someone else in there that can energy feed. I don't know. It depends on if you can get the second Rogan to E5 or not. And then off you go, big damage. Now, you're right. Let's see if he has the Assassin Star Spawn. Ooh, you didn't high roll Star Spawns. You got unlucky. Oh. When you open a Somber Egg and it gives you the Spirit of Twilight, feels bad. You could have had the Transcendence one. You could have had the Holy Damage one. You got the Dark one. This is terrible. This is really unfortunate. I'm so sorry, man. Oh, that's unfortunate. However, if you're lucky, hopefully you can get the Assassin one or the Holy Damage one or just anything, right? Because you got really unlucky here. Because Armor Break's useless with a Sword Flash. The Ranger one is late game, not even useful early on. And this guy just is a bit of a joke because the skill damage he gives is really unimpactful. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And his Crystals of Transcendence is just over 3 million. So it's 3.7 million here, so that's nice. Almost a 4 million. He's got tons of Stellar Shards, though. As you can see, he's got a Void 4. Have you gone ahead and used Spheres for Crystals? I don't think you have, because you've got a Void 4, and you've also got a Void 2. Yeah, so he's got plenty of Stellar Shards. This guy's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this account, for all that it's an absolute mess, because you've built wide, you've got the Fiona and Inosuke, I think you can tighten this up, no problem. I don't think you need Eloise. I think she's a hero that's really good for the majority of accounts. But for what you're focusing on, I don't think she's going to help you very much at all. And yeah, if you can go ahead and tune up this Sword Flash team to make it work good, you've got the Drake, you've got the Rogan, you've got the Demon Bells, you've got Punisher. Obviously, I would prefer Melodic Strings, but I think that's just something to aim for in the future. I think it's more important for you, though, to go ahead, get those last 2 Demon Bells for the energy feed, and then go get Rui Scepters so that you can go ahead and have a Radiant or Splendid Rui Scepter for when you build your second Transcendence hero, which will be a Lord of Fear Aspen, who will just slot into this perfectly because he brings CC, and of course, he's going to be Tenant Spot 2, which means he's going to sit where Sherlock would normally sit for that Sword Flash. Doofusford, for all that I thought that this account was going to be horrendous and really bad, seems like there's actually a solution, which I don't know if is intentional, that you were like, I'm just going to focus on stuff here for Sword Flash and just see what happens. Nice guild tech, by the way. It's just worked out that you have something that can piece together pretty nicely. Now, typically, does that mean I recommend you should go ahead and pre-build a ton of heroes for your Transcendence heroes? No. I think Doofusford has just gotten lucky that the devs did fine-tune a lot of their hero decisions, where Inosuke does happen to have all these heroes as tenants, and there's got to be a way around it, and you were always going to go for Sword Flash. Well, I'm glad, and hopefully you can absolutely overtune this Inosuke and make him your main homeowner until that's the case. General advice, don't go and build heroes because they're high on tier lists. And you saw with the first account that that's what he did. Not that he made any mistakes, mind you, he just went ahead and did that. Now, you look at Doofusford's account, it looks like he did the same thing. But then when you delve a little deeper in, you realize he's actually just going to build an account focused on Sword Flash. And that's okay too. Let me remind you, it's totally fine to build whoever you want. And if the heroes are good enough, it'll be totally fine. A lot of the advice we give on this channel is to fine-tune early and mid-game accounts. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's what you have to do. It's just what's going to give you the most progress so that you can gain the most resources and then make more decisions for yourself later on. But in Doofusford's case, he doesn't want that. He wants to go ahead and lean on that Sword Flash. He doesn't care about the decision making. He's made the decision. And you know what? Inosuke with the right heroes can do very well. And once he fine-tunes his account for the Sword Flash, when she comes in, he'll also do pretty good there. Made a few tiny errors, I think, choosing the Punisher instead of Melodic Strings, but that's totally okay, because if you watch any old Sword Flash content or any old Sword Flash guides, they'll recommend Punisher. But that's because they were made in a time when Melodic Strings was either really hard to get or just didn't exist. Nonetheless, though, it's going to be fun to see what he does with his account, but don't quite get Melodic Strings as yet. I think for you, your main priority is getting that Ignis in, getting Rui Scepters for Lord of Fear Aspen, finishing your Demon Bells, and then seeing where you go in the future. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, happy idling.